Hello children of the universe and welcome back to my channel Makeup and Science. My name is Darky and today I am doing a monochromatic look that is part of my Colourpop 9 pan series. I am using the palette Mint to Be. So this is my lovely mint eyeshadow look, and I'm also doing a half face using my sort of favorite go-to complexion products along with my not so favorite complexion products. And if that sounds interesting to you, please sit back, relax, and we will get right into it. Also, funny note, you'll see me put in my earbuds in like the next clip, and I think I realized whilst editing that the sounds didn't go through the earbuds at all, or just went through my phone. So I guess that's not an option. Okay, into the look. Hello, I'm going to try record. That did not pick up. I am going to try record with my headset in, or Samsung earbuds, to see if the microphone quality is better. Like, will it block out surrounding sound more and just, you know, pick up on my voice better. So, hello to my grey regrowth. Alright, so I have everything out in front of me that I'm going to use. I am going to start off with my eyes first. And so like I said, this video is not just like best and worst, it's also just like my favorites, my top picks, and then like my second picks, because usually if I don't like something, I just throw it in the bin. Now, for eyes, I have two eye primers at the moment. So we have the Kaleidos Tone Activator, and then we have the Sigma eyeshadow primer in the color Ignite. Now, the differences between these two is Kaleidos is quite a wet, like moist, creamy texture. Like, it doesn't dry down, and it's not as tacky as some other formulas, and it's peachy. Like you can see, it has a peachy tone to it. It's pretty good at getting rid of that, what's it called, discoloration of the eyes. So I'm just going to blend that out with my finger and just take it up to the brow bone. And just make sure that I cover like that spot there. I have like a really dark spot in my eye crease there. Now, I personally like to put some on the bottom eyelid as well, because, you know, eyeshadow goes there and I want it to stick just as much as it does to the top lid. Okay, I think I can say that is all blended out now. Very tiny, small amount needed. I mean, I enjoy this, so I have already bought a second one. And this is my newest one to the collection, is the Sigma. And this formula is drier and more tacky. But it's not drying. So like I was really worried this would dry out my skin the way that the Urban Decay primer potions did. Like they really aggravated my eczema. And I had just, the swelling on my eyes was terrible. So I threw those out. And yeah, as soon as I changed to the Kaleidos, I stopped having eczema, pretty much. And you can see this is a more yellow tone. Actually, I don't know how much the camera's picking up, but this Ignite, I got it in the color Ignite, it's a yellow toned primer. It is sticky and tacky. The difference with like applying to like eyeshadow to it is like it sticks more on here, and it still blends, but it's not as blendable as the Kaleidos side. So if you need an eyeshadow that doesn't have the best blendability, maybe use it on the Kaleidos and not the Sigma. But if an eyeshadow has no problem at all with blending, then Sigma is safe. Or if you need more of that tackiness, then obviously the Sigma will be better than the Kaleidos. I also already have my eyebrows done. I was gonna do like with and without the pink honey, but I forgot. So yeah, if I'm going for like not a plastered down eye look, I would use my e.l.f. eyeshadow primer kit, which is not primer, e.l.f. eyebrow kit, and it's just like a waxy pomade and the color dark brown, and I just brush that through my brows, and I guess it has more of a natural effect because it's just color. My eyebrows still fluffy, and this is obviously plastered down and shiny. And afterwards I'll go in with the NYX Lift and Snatch eyebrow pen. Okay, so for today's video, I am doing Colourpop's Mint to Be, and this is how it looks on the inside. And I will just swatch that on my hand now so you can see what it looks like on the skin before commencing. Okay, so here is the palette on my hand, and as you can see, like over here it's more cool tone blue mint, and over here is like a warmer tone khaki mint. And I think because the next palette I'm doing is green, I might go for the minty cool tone bluey greens. And I might possibly do an all matte look. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the deepest blue green. And I just saw it and I'm like, yes, I just want that on my eyes. So let's get into it. And I guess this is a good way to see how eyeshadows perform differently on these two toners. So I'm starting off with the Refa 02, and it is like a flat packing brush, just because I want to shape the outer corner. Wait, look how pigmented that is. It's like, bam! It's a gorgeous color. Now, I may have actually duped myself by accident because I wanted to get like an extra shade from Divina, like a single shadow, and it had a beautiful like minty turquoisey color, and I haven't checked to see if that color already exists in my collection. It looks very similar to this. But anyway, I might put some swatch comparisons up on the side now. Yep, I duped myself with Divina. So the center 3 going down is from the Mint to Be Colourpop palette. On the top, or I guess the right, is Kaleidos Flower Punk. So that's a more greeny mint, and then the left or the bottom is Divina Virago single pressed eyeshadow, which seems to be a complete dupe of the Mint to Be cool color. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the shape I want to go for, but I might round that out a bit there, just to match my eyebrow shape, and point towards my outer eyebrow corner, the tail of it. Yeah, I think that's good. And now for the Sigma side, I'm just going to make sure that's well pressed. Okay, I totally need more on my brush. So pretty much as soon as I touch my eye, I can feel that this formula is more sticky. But they're both performing the same at the moment. I think maybe with having a green shadow on top of a yellow base might help with the shadow coming out more green than blue, maybe. Like, is there a difference? So that's the Sigma, that's the Kaleidos. No, I don't think it's really affecting the color. Okay, so the difference that I've picked up so far is that it's much easier to create a softer, blown out, blended look with Kaleidos because, like I said, it's not as sticky and it's really good for blending. And then here with the Sigma one, the color does stay more pigmented and stays in the spot better, but you can still blend on the edges. It's just not as blown out. So if you want to have it more dilute, you have to make sure that there's less on your brush and just sort of drag it over gradually. Yeah, there's definitely a difference, but they both look nice. I think it's not that different, like important if you're just like doing everyday makeup and it doesn't bother you. But say if you're trying to have a very specific look for a specific reason or event, then maybe it will change the way that you choose what you want to use and how you approach your makeup look. Okay, I think that's all the blending I'm doing, and I'm just going to go in now with the next color. So the first color was called Ice Cold, and the second color is called Seltzer. And it is a lighter minty color with, you know, those shimmers that just fade away once you put them on pretty much. And I'm going to go in with the Refa 14. It's like a domed blending brush. Hello, Phage. See my black cat, when she wants me to come snuggle with her in bed, she'll just come meow at me. Hello, darling. I'm busy right now. Like, you can see how nicely these colors just blend together. Colourpop is wonderful. Like, the blendability is amazing. The payoff in color is amazing. The way you can build up on top of each other. I think Colourpop is a wonderful brand unto itself, but also just the affordability of it. I think just, you know, sets it above the rest. Like, Sigma is an amazing brand. Their products, their formulas are different but wonderful, but obviously the price point is much more expensive than Colourpop. So, I mean, unless you hate the formula of Colourpop, if you're on a budget, go for it. And obviously, like, you know, not all their products are made equally. There's been a few misses with Colourpop. I mean, if you mind that, you know, your eyeshadow is not perfect, but a lot of people don't like the Stone Cold Fox palette, the Cool Tone Brown 32 pan. Yeah, 32. Or was it 30? 30 pan. Anyway, I don't mind that it's a little bit drier or the payoff is a little bit different because, like, I can still make fantastic look with it. Doesn't matter that it's not perfection. And the price point is amazing. So by having both the Bare Necessities and the Stone Cold Fox palettes, I have all the browns I need. I got all my cool tone browns, I have all my warm tone browns, and then I don't really have to buy any more neutrals. Alright, is there much difference between the blending? So Kaleidos and Sigma. Both gorgeous. And I'm just gonna put a little bit under. Very cute. All right, now for the palest, and it is called Get Fresh. What color? Not color. What brush? I think I'll go with the Refa 13, which is pretty much a smaller blending brush. And just right in there. It's lovely. I've got such a like deep set orbital here, like that's right where the bone starts, and sometimes I can just get this very strict like darker line because there's also the pigmentation with the shadow, and it just gets quite dark in there. Like usually when I do my concealer, I'll bring it up and sort of blend that as well because the skin here is much darker than over here. And it's like literally the smallest amount. It's just like whatever residual product is on the brush. There's not much difference between the lightest and the medium shade, but I think it's just because the middle one's been blended so much into the other colors that it doesn't stand up on its own. Like, there's more green to this as well. It's not as blue as the other two colors. I think it looks really pretty. Okay, so up close a little bit, you can see how they both look. So obviously this is just instantly done. I'll show you again after the whole face is finished, and then if I can be bothered, I'll come back and show you, I don't know, a wear test or something. I think for like under here, in that sort of under eye area, I'm gonna put a shimmer. Just what shimmer do I want? I think I'll go with the lightest one up there. Make something blinding, and that's the color Play It Cool. Okay. Hello, my darling. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. So that's the eyeshadow look with the Meant to Be palette, and now I'm just going to go in with mascara. I do not have a mascara that I hate here, so I'm just going to go between my two Lash Sensational mascaras by Maybelline. This is the original one, and this is the new one, which is the Sky High. They are both in waterproof because I never wear non-waterproof mascara because I don't want it running down my face. So going to put this, so this one's more voluminous compared to the Sky High. Sky High is more lengthening, and I think in the end it comes down to personal preference if you want volumizing or if you want lengthening. But they are both wonderful in their longevity and keeping shape, and I just really enjoy this this formula and this brand. I mean, I've tried a few different kinds in my time, and I usually get very sick of them very fast and just go back to using this. So I guess comment down below, have you tried this? Do you like it? And if not, what is your favorite mascara and why? Also, if you don't use waterproof, why do you not use waterproof? That's something I don't understand. And now this is the Sky High. I think I might be running out of this because I also just find that these eyelashes coat differently to my right eye. Like my left curl, no, my right curl, this eye here, much more, and they just lift so easily. Whereas this one, the outer corner, just dips and they get tangled, like my lower eyelashes get tangled with my upper eyelashes. It's very annoying. Oh my god. It is so hard to do mascara whilst recording. That's why most people don't do that. Okay, so that's both eyes done, so I don't know, is there a difference? I must look very weird right now. Does that help? Okay, so that's right eye. And then this is, can you see that way? Okay, left eye. I'm gonna notice in editing if there's any difference. I can't tell right now. I mean, they both look good. Liner. I have so many Colourpop liners. So it's like, take a pick. Might do these two. Yes, and I'm gonna put the darker one, which is Zulu, the darker mint. Just gonna wipe off the tip. I can go in the outer corner. It just goes perfectly with this palette. And then the lighter one is Icebreaker. Is that clean? Alright, that's good. Okay. So Icebreaker is like exactly the same color as this mint eyeshadow. Like if you want a good collection of colorful like eyeliners, get the Vault, the colorful Vault by Colourpop. Like, where is it? This is pretty much all the colors you get in the Vault. And I mean, it's a great beginner's collection to color. The only problem is like doing this, I feel like I need a deeper shadow here. All right, I'm gonna drag Ice Cold, this darker one, into this corner here just because I need that depth. I don't like it when it's just blah. Yep, that's it. As simple as that. Just dragging it into the orbit, the deep crevice over the eyeball, like literally just shape your eyeball. And that's it. So you get that nice deep crease again, and that helps the lid be shaped and pop out. I like that anyway. And then it still keeps that gradient above and below the crease level. Oh, nothing exciting here. I'm just gonna do my liquid eyeliner because I feel incomplete without it. So I'll be right back. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's done. All right, primers. So my very, 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 very favorite is the VDL Lumi Layer Primer. As you can see, this is like completely out. I'm gonna try and get the dredges out of it because I have bought a new one, but obviously I want to finish it off because it is quite expensive. I think it was $32. I'll leave the price up here. But it's worth it. So I've been through a few different primers now. I went through a couple of the e.l.f. ones. I tried the putty primer. I hated it so much it went into the bin quite quickly. I used the hydrating one from them as well. That was fine. I think I finished it up, but I didn't really get, like, I didn't find any difference in using it, so it was just sort of pointless. Then, oh god, I had a couple from The Ordinary, so I tried their silicone one, and then I've tried their hydrating one. I did enjoy the hydrating one a bit more, but then it felt sort of like stingy and burny, so I'm like, I'm just going to stop using that. Actually, I've completely stopped using The Ordinary in total. And then I've also tried the NYX Marshmallow Primer, and I do enjoy it, but I actually find it's too oily for me. Like, yes, I have dry skin and dehydrated skin, but I also have like fine lines, pigmentation. I have aging skin and acne. I mean, I've got masking now because I have to wear a mask for like 12 hours a day, and I'm actually not breaking out too badly considering. But I've got like a big painful one coming up under my chin here. Anyway, I don't like oily wet stuff. Which is funny considering I've got dry skin. Okay, so this is where the whole half face thing is going to start. I am going to put the stuff that I like more on this side and the sort of failure stuff on this side. So I'll come back with it already on. Okay, so it's on, and so with the VDL Lumi layer, obviously the packaging has like holographic stuff on top, but it has like glittery pigments in it. So you can see on this side, I think it looks more luminous and dewy, but it's dry. Like, it's a slight tack to it actually. It's slightly tacky, so it helps with like foundation sticking to it and everything. But it looks dewy. Whereas this side is not as shiny. It is still tacky, but it's slightly oily, and that's a problem later on when like your natural oils come through, mixes with it, and it just becomes like the foundation just slips off or it breaks up a little bit. So yeah, I've sort of just given up on using this, or maybe I'll try finish it whilst recording, or like in winter maybe it'll be better, but I don't want to throw it in the bin. Like, it's not horrible, but it's not as good, so I'll finish using it. Whereas this one I'm definitely going to buy more of because it is my favorite. It is my go-to for like when I'm having a special event or something like that. Now for base, it's funny because when I did my most recent video of like my favorite base, you know, routine, that's it, I sort of put down the ZC Cosmetics primer, and I soon found out that this was causing me to break out so badly, because I was wondering, like, I went through a stage where I just had really painful pimples, like a lot of them, and I didn't know what was causing them, and then it came down to this, which really sucks because I do enjoy the smell. It's a nice product and everything, but it's not such a good product that I'll keep using it, and obviously because it's making me break out, and it's quite expensive, and I almost finished it very quickly. So not only does it not ship to Australia anymore, so I'm not buying from the company at all anymore, but I'm so tempted just to throw it in the bin, but I'll use it for this video and then I'm probably gonna ditch it. But I also wanted to talk about my most hated foundation. I really hate the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish foundation. For one, it stinks, it smells like fish, and it barely has any coverage, and it's oily, and I just don't like it. For my good side, I have my Dior Backstage foundation. I actually really like this, but it's definitely my summer shade, so I can only use it when I'm really dark. And also I don't want to buy any new foundation because I just have so many foundations to go through. I ended up like having 3 Colourpop foundations because I have my darkest shade, which is 60N, and then I got 40N, and then I even got lighter 30N because I just go so pale in winter, and then in summer I get so dark. So I have like 3 of those, and I want to use them up a bit before I buy any more foundations. I have my eye set on Shiseido. And what was the other one? I was going to try the Charlotte Tilbury, oh my God, that chick, the skin tint. But for now, we have Colourpop and Dior, and I think for today's video, I will do Dior Backstage, and to make it more olive tone friendly, I'm adding my NYX green concealer. So I totally missed the step of concealer, so concealer is next. I effing hate the Fenty concealer so much. It looks like chicken skin under the eye, and it's extremely drying and creasing and all those sorts of things. Ugh. I think after this video, it's going to the bin. And I don't actually have my favorite concealer because I finished it and I haven't had a chance to buy a new one. I'm just going to price compare between Skin 02, which is an Australian brand, with the NYX, I think it's a glow concealer. Angelica Nickfest always recommends that, so I am going to probably buy that next, try it out and see which one I like more. But in the meantime, my go-to is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. It's a bit too peachy for me, but because it's in my under eye area, it helps to block out any discoloration, and foundation goes over the top anyway. So let's get that on. I'm going to turn on the light here because I feel like I'm putting my makeup on in the dark. Oh, that is so thick and dry. So I'm going to do 2 dots like that. And oh yeah, the colors. This is 145, which is a yellow tone, and this is 14, yeah, light 14 for Colourpop, and it's peachy. And this feels wet and creamy. So what I'm going to use to brush this out, I've got this brush and this brush. So this is the Spectrum A18, which is like flat concealer brush, and I'm just going to brush this out. And this is how you can like clean up mistakes with your eyeshadow. So like the primer is the first step of cleaning up errors, and then this is the eraser. Especially with like smoky eyes. When you do smoky eyes, they're very messy, and this is how you can clean it up. So like I said, I just like to shape that a little bit, just a tad. And I did sort of burn myself last week because I went for an unexpected long walk, 2 hours to be precise, and I came out very burnt, and I have not been burnt for like 10 years, so. Oh yeah, and you can see how terribly this concealer works on the nose. It is disgusting on the nose. I have never seen my nose look so disgusting and terrible and pory and broken and crackly as I do as when I wear this concealer. Alright, I think that's well blended. I'm gonna just pat it out with my finger now. So yeah, on initial application, that looks really nice and glowy and everything. Like, look at the difference. But later on, it looks terrible. Alright, so I'm just going to blend out the Colourpop one. And I think this is just a more natural looking tone as well. Let's try and get my nose a bit. I mean, honestly, I don't think any concealer looks good on the nose, or at least I haven't found one. But at least like with the Colourpop, it just sort of breaks down and not look so horrible. Like it breaks down evenly, whereas the Fenty one looks like potholes. So you can still see like dips and shadows because this is more wet, whereas this is much more dry, and I feel like it's just like clenching a little bit. But like over time, I just find that like I'll go to work and then I'll see the Fenty side and be horrified because it looks so bad, whereas like at least with the Colourpop side, it just looks natural. Like, oh, you're a little bit like, that's just your natural skin. It's not perfect because no one has perfect skin. It doesn't exist. So we'll see later. Okay, that's concealer done. Now for like foundation stuff. I'm going to take one pump of, oh my gosh. So that's the ZC's Cosmetics Green Primer, and I'm going to take a pump, oh my gosh, of the Skin Fetish and mix it together and hope for the best. Oh God, ZC's Cosmetics smells so good. I wish it didn't break me out because I love the smell of it. Wow, the ZC's Cosmetics is really making me look pale. We'll see how that goes once it's blended out, which is funny because it's not like, it's meant to be color correcting, so it obviously gets rid of the red in the skin, but it's really neutralizing the Pat McGrath peachy brown. So the Pat McGrath is in 10 medium, light medium 10. Yeah, okay, so that's how it looks so far, and I'm just going to blend that in using the Juno Storm Cloud blending sponge. Did that cover anything other than make me look paler? Not really. I guess it gave me flawless looking skin for now, but it's still tacky. Yeah, I just don't like it. And that's like, at least with the Auric, I know it's going to be see-through and stuff, but just this even by itself, it has no coverage. So I'm just trying to get rid of the peachiness by adding the ZC's Cosmetics. But yeah, we'll just see how it lasts over time. Now for my favorite combo. We're adding Dior and NYX. So I'm just gonna get like that and put it on my finger. It's probably way too much. Mix these two together. Now this one is an olive, I think it's 2WO. Yeah, too warm olive. Oh, it might be a bit green. Yeah, that's too green. But that might help with getting rid of my red sunburn skin. And the peachiness of the concealer. Like instantly you can see there's better coverage with this compared to this. Like all my redness is actually gone. It's covered up a lot of my pigmentation. I mean, my freckles still come through because I don't like full coverage. I like a medium coverage. So you can still see like my freckles here, but here then it just sort of gets rid of whatever pigmentation and like pimply acne marks I have. Whereas here I feel like I can see all my pigmentation still. Cool. Interesting. All right. I guess I should blend this out a bit. So what's next? Setting powders. Setting powders? Yes. All right. I got the Colourpop translucent setting powder and I do not like it. Hence why I've pretty much stopped using it. In comparison to the NYX HD, which is wonderful. I've been using that in my under eyes ever since I got it. But Robert Welsh was saying how he likes, well, he tried it on his video, and I'm like, I'm trying that because I love the VDL primer. Let's try the VDL setting powder, and I think it's slightly luminescent. I don't know, I haven't actually tried it yet. So this is also going to be a first impressions. Using a clean brush, this is the E60 large shader by Sigma. And do I have a sticker on here? There we go. Ta-da! Okay. Whoa, this is a terrible mirror. All right, let's try this out on this side, the good side. Okay. A lot of kick up. No smell. Oh, that is very luminizing. It looks like it has a slight pink in pan, but I can't say it's translating over to my skin. And I think I've got so much smelly stuff on my face that I can't smell properly. If it has any smell at all, it's a clean smell. I'm just gonna dry wherever I put that concealer earlier. So up in there. All right, how does that feel? Oh, that feels silky smooth. That feels so nice, oh my gosh. Oh. Should I do my whole face in this? Maybe, yes. Do I need to? No, let's just do that area first because I've got all my other powder products to do. And powder products will dry down where it touches. And then if there's leftover areas, I can go in. But so far, that feels really good. I grabbed my giant face powder brush, which, because I pretty much bought this so I could set my whole face. Let's just go there for now. Yeah, it just feels, it doesn't feel smooth. Like it feels dry, but it's like dry bumpy, rough skin. That's what it feels like. It feels dry, bumpy, rough skin compared to this silky. Oh my god, I feel so silky. Okay. Yeah. That's dry and bumpy, and this is smooth and silky. I just wish I had a better concealer on this side because I can see just like this deep, dark dip. I'm just tired. Leave me alone. It's early. Now, I only have one contour product, and that's my Kaleidos Charisma Contour Palette. And I've nearly completely finished the contour and the bronzer. I'm starting to use this as my setting powder sometimes because it's a bit silly to finish like 2 products. I mean, 2 pans in a product and leave the 3rd one. So I'm trying to use that up as well now. I'm actually going through it pretty fast. So if I need any extra setting, I might just use this to finish setting. But yes, contour. So I'm going to contour both sides of my face with this and only bronze one side with this because this is a bit reddish and I don't like reddish bronzers. And for the other bronzer, I am going to use the Physicians Formula just because it's not reddish and I feel like this suits my skin tone better. So I like to bring contour right up into the ear and under the cheekbone and stopping before I get to that part of my cheek because that just looks really weird having it underneath there because I don't naturally have big cheek there. It's just sort of on a smile it's out up here, so if I put darkness there it's gonna look really weird. So it stops just sort of outside my eye area and up to there to really just emphasize that bone that pops out right here. And I feel because this side isn't so wet that the product's blending a lot more easily, like it looks more natural. Whereas this side, it just sticks a bit more and doesn't blend as much. I mean, I can still make it look good, but just the feeling I'm getting with the brush whilst applying sort of changes my technique a bit. And that's the thing, like when you go side on and you're looking straight onto the face, you don't want to notice that there's a product there. You just want it to look like either skin tone or shadow. And I think I accomplished that. Because like when you look straight on, it just looks like shadow, really. It doesn't. And that's why I go for grain tones. Grain tones, shadows. Red would look really weird. Alright, and that's cheeks done. I'm going to do the other parts of my face and come back for the bronzer. Ta-da! Contour done. I really like to just go deep into my temples up here and leaving that pale because obviously you're going to have the highlighter up here. But then I like to dip into the temple and then just sort of bring my forehead down because it's so big. So yes. And then yeah, just like on the inner nose, like bringing that orbital, the deep part of the orbital, and connecting it to the outer part of my nose. And a little bit under my lip and then just under my chin here and into the like jugular vein area. Okay, that's contour. Now for bronzer. Where's my brush? Alright, so the Kaleidos reddish bronzer first. I'm just going to load up my brush. And just right where the sun hits. Up here a bit. On my nose, because obviously the sun hits there and makes it darker. And that's one way to like make it easy to decide where does bronzer go. It goes where your sun damage is. Which for me seems to be a lot these days. Like I didn't have as much freckles when I was younger. I mean, I had light freckling over my nose coming into my teenage years, like adolescence. But yeah, just with age, it's just accumulated, obviously. Even though I've always wore sunscreen, you can't escape it, sort of thing. Like if you're freckle prone, you will get freckles because that's what your body does. And I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just that I would prefer not to have a red tone bronzer. Especially with doing like a green look, it slightly clashes. So that's that. Now I'm gonna go in with the Physicians Formula because it's not as red. So that's what it looks like. This is in the color Muramuru, which is, I think, like, oh my gosh, how much did I pick up? No, I didn't. Anyway, it's more yellow toned than the Kaleidos one. You know, and these slight differences, I don't think, you know, people looking at you would really notice. They're just gonna be like, oh, makeup looks pretty. Unless it doesn't look pretty and looks horrendous. The slight differences are more up to us to notice. Like, we see it. No one else really notices the slight differences. But I think when you have multiple slight differences and they all add up, it can add up to a magnificent makeup day, or it can turn out to be a not so magnificent horror makeup day. And I think, because I can never tell if this has a bit of a shimmer in it. I thought, oh, maybe it was just like the spray on top layer. But now looking at the difference between the two, I think it does have a slight golden tinge to it, which I don't mind. I do like a dewy face, a shiny face, without actually feeling wet and dewy and sticky. And I think especially like in humid or hot climates, a dewy look is nice, but a dewy feeling is not nice. Like, we're already sweaty and sticky enough. We don't need to add to it. Did I go overboard? Just maybe here a little bit. I'll just try get rid of that up a little. It's not that noticeable. Okay. We're getting there. All right. Next step, blush. Okay, so when I was 19, I sort of bought a whole collection of makeup so I could do, you know, start my own makeup collection, but also so I could freelance. And that brand that I invested in was Youngblood, and this is their Mineral Radiance Splendor, which has like 4 blushes, or really it's like more like 3 blushes and 1 highlighter, or 1 highlighter mix as well. So I'm going to put that on this side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use the brush that it came with. This is the angled blush brush that I got with it, and it is made with natural hair, and this is like 13 years old now and it's still perfection. So I'm just going to swirl the whole thing together. The thing is, I actually finished one whole thing of this and I only just opened it, like a new one, and I've barely touched it. So yeah, we're putting this on this side. I'm getting so confused. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it on this side here. I think this is a very natural looking blush. So I don't have any like new pink blushes to replace this. So if I need a pink blush, I'm still using this one. And obviously, like, if I didn't want any of the radiant stuff, I'll just like avoid it. But yeah, I've just come to enjoy mixing the whole thing together and getting a sort of blush highlighter blend going on. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite natural looking, and I know I'm putting this on my least favorite side, but well, yeah, I don't really reach for it much anymore because it is more intense, too intense for like the face looks that I do now. I'm going much more peachy these days. Not bad, just not my favorite. Now for the blushes that I reach for more often now is definitely the Colourpop formula. I really do enjoy using it, and this is in the color Chase, which is a very pale peach color, and then I usually blend with Palatial, which is a bit of a darker peach color. It's got a little bit more of a pinky undertone to it. So when I use these two, I start off with Chase, which is the lighter peach in the lower area. I just feel it's more of like a neutral tone. So like if I have green eyes, having a peach blush just doesn't take away, well, like it doesn't make it look too intense. It just looks more like a skin tone. And the other face like blush brand I like, or brand I like for blushes, oh my god, breathe. The other brand that I like for their blushes is Sigma. I just only have one of them right now, and it's another peach one, but it's a bit more intense than these ones. So I thought I'd go for my, you know, the one I reach for more is definitely Colourpop, just because I feel I can get a more natural look out of it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just blend those two. So this was Palatial, the darker one. I put that more in the upper corner. And then for like the rest of the face, I might start off with Chase. And maybe put Palatial on top of that. But I think for today, I don't want to put it on top. I'm just going to go with Chase for those areas, and Palatial's just in the outer cheek there. And that's that. Now for highlighter. Again, Youngblood. This is a highlighter that I pretty much never use now because I find that it leaves quite a white cast. So this is Lena Dust, and it was very in trend back in the 2000s. But for now, it's definitely fallen out of favor, I think. Like, it's quite whitish. And I used to wear this with every look. And I just really don't go for the icy white look anymore. I really love my colorful highlighters from Kaleidos. Otherwise, I like my neutrals, sort of skin-like highlighters from Sigma. And of course, what was always very popular was putting highlighter on the brow bone. And as you can see, it's quite a white cast. So very 2000. Alright. It's not too bad. I mean, like, there's definitely worse out there. Just, it's not my thing anymore. Unless I'm going specifically for a look that, you know, incorporates this white shimmer. But from what I can tell, it's not going to be a dark skin friendly product. Now for what I love, Sigma Glow Kissed. Just a wonderful highlighter. Oh my god, don't drop it. My thumb just went right in it. Oh, wonderful highlighter palette. Absolutely gorgeous, no matter what color you choose. So for today, I might go with Aurora, which is this sort of neutrally pink one here. And let's use the matching highlighter brush. I'm gonna do a swirl. And I just generally stop where this fat deposit is under my eye, because if I go over it, it just accentuates it. So I don't want to go below where this natural shadow of the fat deposit is. And I'm just going to stay on top of that and go into that highlighted area where I've not put any contouring product and blend. So look how striking that is on the side, and then front on just disappears. Whereas this side, I don't know how much really comes up. That actually looks nice, but yeah, just the whiteness of it, I don't know. It's alright. I just think I have to be careful if I do want to use the white side. And unfortunately, because I still am peeling up here, my skin looks very crinkly. And you will actually see some peeling skin. I just peeled some off. Okay. I think that is it for highlighter. So young blood side. Ooh. Brow bone. Brow bone. Ooh, that looks so much nicer having that in sort of neutral color to go with it. I think it's a better finish for eye look. And last but not least, I still have not done my eyebrows. I'll quickly do that and then I'll find a lipstick to put on. And I pretty much think that's the finished look. So yeah, I just went in with, where is it? The NYX Lift and Snatch eyebrow pen. It's just really good for doing little hair-like strokes, and then just, I do it more deeply at the tail and just very finely at the front there. And for lips, I use the Colourpop's Lippy Sticks primer. That's very wax-like sticky, and you know what, it really does make lipstick last for a very long time. And because I'm still trying out all the Proper Beauties 12 bunch set that I bought, I used the color Focused, and it is, well, obviously this. Yeah, I'm gonna do a wear test and then I'm gonna come back later and show you how this looks in a few hours, or at the end of the very day, you know. And yeah. So what time is it right now? The time is, it is 12 past 11 a.m. And I guess I'll see you maybe in 12 hours, because I generally, what is with my language and words today? Anyway, I generally wear makeup for a very long time, so my makeup needs to last for more than 12 hours most of the time. Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye. So I thought I'd just take you into a different lighting and see what you can see. Yeah, and the different lighting and up close. So this is the Fenty ZC, okay. I'm just gonna call it the good side and the bad side, or even though not that I hate everything that is on the bad side, it's just the not my favorite side. So yeah, that's what it looks like right now. So I just finished filming, and you can probably see my crepey skin at the top of my forehead. And this is my everything's favorite side. Like that. I mean, I could have done better blending, definitely, because I feel very pale on my jawline and then very colored on my cheek. But yeah, you can see sort of the creasing that might be developing with the concealers. But like I said, I'd rather have creasing than chicken skin that's going to develop later. You can see how much more like freckles and stuff you can see on this side compared to this side. And yes, I know I got a pimple there, but nothing's gonna cover up you know, a 3D imprint, a 3D mountain. Yes. Anyway, I'll see you later. Okay, it's about 9:30 right now, so it's been 10 hours and a bit. I just want to go to bed. I was gonna wait 12 hours, but I just want to get ready for bed. That's all. And I wanted to get this video finished and uploaded before midnight, so I've got like 2.5 hours to go. Anyway, I'm going to show you the wear test, and for some reason my makeup just decided to be really good today. So this is meant to be the bad side, but it looks fine. And the concealer that I hate so much isn't too bad. Like, I don't know why the times that I did, you know, go to work and just see my face completely degraded hasn't happened this time. But I still feel wet, like tacky, so the foundation hasn't set at all in the past 10 hours, and I just feel moist. Yeah, whereas in comparison to the Colourpop side, not Colourpop, Dior, that feels dry. It feels matte. It feels good. So, oh yeah, my lipstick's still on. And yes, I did eat. I had lunch and dinner and coffee and water and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, I'm very good with how I eat. I don't like use my lips. But also just, I think that it's got to do with the primer I use and the lipstick. Yeah, Proper Beauty, I do love it. It's become one of my favorite lipstick brands. So yes, lips good. Both concealers, I guess, are all right, but you can see, you know, Colourpop's holding up as well. You can see how the Pat McGrath, the foundation is, you know, still see-through. It's holding on. And my forehead, I just really need to have a good exfoliation and get rid of that layer of dead skin, honestly. And then this is the good side. And you know, it still has more coverage. You can see a bit through it, which is fine. Like I said, it is medium coverage. It's not full coverage. I'm just wondering around the nose. I think, okay, one thing I've definitely noticed is I can see, like, my pores are much bigger on the bad side. This side, it looks pretty neat and it's not too red around the nose, but this side is worse than it has been the entire time. Eyeshadow is still holding on both sides, and eyeliner is still there, eyebrows are still in place. Obviously that's still red because pimple. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I guess both sides really, but I mean, if I'm gonna go for my favorite, like foolproof, it's definitely this side. And also the coloring, I mean, this is more, you know, red bronzer, pink blush, and white highlighter. It's not optimal. This side is definitely better for my olive tone, and I think it all goes so much nicer together. So yeah, pretty much that's the end of my video. I hope you did enjoy watching me create this monochromatic mint eyeshadow look using Colourpop's Mint to Be 9-pan palette, and seeing me use my favorites to not so much favorites comparison video. And yeah, I know I'm doing this in a completely different position. I am in my bedroom and I've like tilted my lamp light so it's in my face more neatly. Oh yes, and I did dye my hair again last week, so it's got like a fresh coat of color. Anyway, I'm totally drabbing on. Hopefully I see you next time on Makeup and Science. Bye!